Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey girlfriend, you've reached Risky Intentions, where the balanced fun hoes go for spiritual enlightenment while still being a little risque. Follow us each week as we unpack healing past trauma, living with intention, and vibing higher, as we share all the raunchy ass stories that got us here.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Risky Intentions podcast. It's your girl Jordy.
And I'm Cece. And if it's your first time listening to us, welcome.
Welcome.
If you made it this far in our season,
We see you.
shout out to you.
We rock with you.
You the realest and the trillest.
Raise your crown, queen and king. This week we're going to be talking all about the powers, the healing that is manifestation.
The magic of manifesting. I think it's like such a buzzword right now, so I'm excited to like get into what it actually means.
Yeah.
What a few tools to like manifest and how to do it.
Yeah. I think that the biggest thing for manifestation is just like the power of the tongue, right? Like there are truly healing things that happen, whether it's your thought process or, you know, just speaking and thinking positively and projecting the things that you want out of this life into the universe.
Totally rewiring your brain, essentially,
Yeah,
to like see and be your higher self.
absolutely.
Very exciting and powerful stuff. What are our affirmations this week, Jay?
You want to kick it off?
Mm-hmm.
So my affirmation this week is that I am doing my best, and that is good enough. I think sometimes we get so caught up in like, you know, not being adequate enough or dealing with inadequacy.
Yeah, being too hard on ourselves, taking ourselves far too serious.
Yeah, when in retrospect or like in theory, it's like, nah, you good. You good. And even if you're not your highest, best, greatest version of yourself, that is still good enough. You were still adequate. You were still enough. You were still, you know, worthy. You're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of new beginnings. You are worthy of this life. So pat yourself on the back. You've come a long way. I've come a long way. And
even if you only gave 20% in your day, I feel like then you're like, oh, but I didn't do this or I didn't do that. But it's like, if that's your best for that day or that time, then that's your best.
yeah.
And that's all you can do is do your best.
You kind of sometimes move through things like, you know, day by day, minute by minute, sometimes second by second.
Second by second some days.
It's just, yeah, I'm doing my best, and that is good enough, honey.
Is more than enough. My affirmation this week is I am efficient and hardworking. I'm too focused to fail. I'm too committed to fall short. And I think they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's like
You are hardworking, though.
I really am.
You work your hiney.
But I'm efficient.
Yeah.
And like I think I work so hard in fear sometimes, in fear of failure. Like if I don't work so hard, I'm gonna fail. If I don't give 110% every day, like I'm gonna fall short somewhere. And it's like I do this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So it's like
that's the crazy part. I think you think of like how far you've come, right?
Man.
Of like,
wow.
there's literally things that you can do, I'm sure, within your profession in your sleep. Like I know this like the back of my hand. And I think it's just trusting yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
So I really love, I'm too focused to fail. I'm too committed to fall short.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
All right. Jay, what's the tea?
Honey, the tea is a little hot. My tea is actually about Simone Biles. As you know, she withdrew from the Olympics just recently.
And
She
rightfully so.
She was qualified for, I think it was every division.
Because she's that girl.
But yeah, she pulled out for mental health reasons, and everybody was giving her flack about it. And I think it's just one so insensitive, like, you know, that whole like shut up and dribble.
Yeah,
or
like how
you're
dare
just
you
an athlete. Like,
be human
yeah.
and have to take care of yourself. Like,
Yeah.
no, you just need to perform.
Yeah.
And, you know, what she does is extremely dangerous. I don't think people take that into account. It's like, let me see you do 6 backflips and not break your neck.
Right. Right. This is truly, she can harm herself really. Yeah, there was another thing. There were so many different factors that contributed. You know, I think that I read somewhere that she has ADHD, and like that medication is banned in Japan.
So she had to get off her meds.
So she's been off her meds.
Which I think is like kind of what made this kind of all spiral into this situation where she can't focus how she normally would, which you can't do all your acrobat tricks if you're not in the right headspace.
Yeah. The other thing, God, I'm drawing a blank. Larry Nasser.
Her former coach or current? Former.
It's a former coach. He's like this big, renowned person in the gymnastics field. And apparently several women came out. I think it was 2018. Basically accusing him of sexually abusing them.
Yeah, there was quite a few girls, right? That all on the same team.
Yeah.
Like the known thing. And people were kind of like defending him, right? Because he's just such a big icon in this realm of gymnastics or whatever, which is bullshit.
I thought so much about just that, the PTSD, the trauma that she must have been going through being in this arena again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We also just came out of COVID, like quarantine. It's just like emotions are high, and I love that people are starting to, and athletes too, people that are in the limelight of like, no, my mental health comes first. I'm not myself. And if anything, this is like, I want to call this out before it gets to the level of where I'm just like having a crazy mental breakdown.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is super important.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a bunch of people like kind of like just talking shit and saying, you know, well, what about if this was Michael Jordan in Game 6?
Right.
And it's like, I think, God, who was the guy's name? I think it was Jaylen Brown. I know sports.
And it doesn't even compare. It's like,
but it was also just like people within basketball or any sport, it's like you miss a touchdown, you miss a free throw, and it's like, oh, whatever, we'll get it back.
You have your whole team to support
This
you
is an
and like move on. Yeah.
One person kind of thing. Like, it's all numbers.
It's all on her. If she goes out there busting her ass left and right, it's like,
especially the pressures of just being the top, the elite, the best. And then it's just like, I feel for her, and I feel like I'm so happy that she pulled out when she felt a chemical imbalance within herself and sought help.
And chose herself first, because we're not here to just be a show for you. No. Like,
I have that.
Good for her. Honestly, prayers to her.
I know.
And like getting her mental back in the right space, because sometimes that takes a minute. Like, it's not like tomorrow I'll feel better. Let me try again tomorrow.
No.
I mean, you try, but shit, could be
a month from
2 years from now before she's like, okay, we're back.
Yeah.
My tea is just a little update, because we talked about the baby and his homophobic remarks that were just pulled right out the sky, unprovoked.
I saw something today that was like, the baby would have done better if he would have been like, ladies, how y'all feeling? Fellas, y'all all right?
No, seriously. Way better. That's all he had to do. Yeah. If you're having a good time, say, yeah, that's it. But no, he went on his little rant, and now the baby is finna lose the bag, because he's got dropped from, I think, about 6 different festivals now. The Governor's Ball, Day in Vegas, Lollapalooza. I don't remember which the other ones were.
I love that they're hitting him in his pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If Madonna and Elton John got to call you out, you probably did something.
Yeah.
Like,
Madonna's, I mean, okay, I digress. She's just crazy.
She is crazy, but you know,
Crazy
she
as
doesn't play
hell.
when it comes to her LGBTQ community
No, not at all.
at all.
Not at all. I saw something today though that said that like I think it was 11 or so LGBTQ rights have like reached out to him personally to offer private educational services for him.
He needs it. I hope he goes.
Yeah, I hope so
I
too.
hope he sits down with a few people and gets some education.
You know what I think the bigger narrative or the bigger issue within all of it is because there's a huge disconnect in homophobe like thought and just pattern in the Black community, especially with Black men, which it's so interesting to me because I always find that there are so many gay Black men.
Mm-hmm.
And I digress, but I love that people are holding him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I love that people are like, this isn't okay. We're going to call you out on this shit.
We're going to call you out, and
It's not, like,
we're not
the
gonna-
idea of, like, I didn't know any better is just, it's not a valid excuse anymore. It's the 21st century.
it's 2021. Like, come on now. Educate yourself. We're
Yeah.
telling all these white people to educate themselves when, you know, we're rioting and protesting in the streets. And it's on you to educate yourself. Like,
Yeah.
no one needs to be like, oh, here, this is what this means. This is how HIV and AIDS works. The fact
It's
that you
just-
don't
it's
know
like-
that is
it's
like
so
kind of
ignorant.
mind blowing.
It's
But
honestly really ignorant.
that's a whole nother thing, though, how deep homophobe like stuff just goes on in the Black community. And I think half of it stems from ignorance and like
Yeah.
certain things that have
'Cause
been
there-
projected on men, but also I think there's a huge portion of Black men who have been molested or raped and internalize that as homophobia rather than, you know, healing through their own traumas. And I'm
Yeah.
like, did somebody do something to you? Because y'all speak on gay men more than gay men speak on gay men. And it's like,
Right.
do you have a boyfriend or something? Are you a little on the down low?
Why are you
Like,
so triggered by
who sucked your
this?
dick in the parking lot?
Right.
Because you sounded very triggered. So I'm just glad
That they fucking up the
That-
bag.
they fucking up the bag, and maybe he'll do better. You know better, you do better, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to our cocktail segment.
Oh.
I don't have any alcohol, but we're going to drink this,
I'll drink some water.
this water like
I'll drink
this.
some water with you. So wherever you at, hydrate. Stay hydrated.
H2O.
But also, if you got a shot, take a shot.
My my cocktail is not anything specific. My cocktail this week is brought to you by just a little bit of a personal survey that we have going on here at Risky Intentions about size. Does size matter?
Or
Is it about the
motion
motion in the ocean? What do you think? Do you think size matters?
I've experienced both sides.
Right?
Where someone's small.
What do you mean both sides? Because
Okay.
both sides of the totem pole, it's like micro or
Okay,
Mac Daddy.
I definitely have had a micro, tragically enough, right? Bless you.
Were you into it?
At the time, originally, I wasn't, like, into it. Okay, so let's back up. So the first time, I didn't see it, right? I didn't, like, see it. This is crazy.
I didn't. Well, yeah, because it's a micro, you can't see it.
No, that's not why. Because it was dark. And the person had, like, really good head. So that's, like,
People that have micros typically do.
you got to
You
make
gotta
up
make
for
up
it somewhere.
somewhere.
So that's what like really got me where I was going. And so then I guess I just didn't really notice. And then as time went on, I was like, yeah, this is pretty tiny. But he made it happen. So, and you know, the feelings were there. Like I was already emotionally invested.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
we stopped dealing with each other for years. And I circled back around. Why I did that, the world may never know. But when I did, I was like, hell no, I could never do this again. I will never. I'm going to just put this one deep in the memories. Hopefully I forget.
Oh man.
And I've also had really big,
And it's kind of like too much.
not even too much, just like you don't even know what you're
just-
doing with all that. Like you're just trying to just
Sometimes
go,
they
go,
literally
and
do
just
have
like
big ones and they still can't.
chill out.
fuck.
Like do it, you know.
Yeah, do it right.
Do it right. So I think size, like, does matter ultimately,
Yeah.
especially if we're talking like long term.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's where a conversation about like toys and stuff. Like, and I know that can really mess with people's egos. But it's like, that's your friend.
Yeah. It's a tool. It's like an addition. It's something
it's not to take away from this. It's to add, but
yeah,
people don't always see it that way. Would I be with a man with a little dick? Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you date a guy with a big dick and no money, or a guy with a little dick
That was balling?
That was balling, billionaire status.
But I
If
feel
you
like
had the two, you had to pick. Who are you gonna pick?
I'm gonna go with the billionaire status.
Smart girl.
Obviously, it's like, what, we gonna just be fucking and broke?
And broke, because ain't nobody got time. I'm not gonna want to fuck you because I'm gonna be hungry and stressed. Who has time to think about sex when you're poor?
Dead ass. Dead ass.
Smart girl. Cause
Listen,
same, sis. Same.
I feel like I've always been a person that said, like, the bigger the better, right? And then you have big, like really big, and it's just like, shit, I can't even get on this. Like, I can't even enjoy it.
Had like, hold on.
I feel like yeah, I remember dating a guy that was definitely not big. Like, he was not big. But I was so into him that, like, the sex was always great. But I feel like having this, like, happy medium, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, with the measuring stick, but, like,
Let me see how long that is.
They say that like, a nice, like, a good size girth, like, 6.5 inches is, like, pretty decent.
I think that's average. 6, 7, that's average. If you're beyond that, go off then.
I need a big like,
but also it's not like
10 inch,
mandatory.
a bigger.
But also
Know how to lick it and stick it. What?
Because I was gonna say the ones in my drawer got me questioning things right now.
Listen, I think it's definitely one of those things. Like, yeah. But I also feel like if you have a big dick and you can't, like, there's no motion in the ocean, then, like, that's not fun either.
It's like just stabbing me painfully. Mm-hmm. No, don't nobody want that. Ladies in the comments, let us know. Do you want a guy with a big dick and no money, or a little dick and
this question is so funny.
Because it is funny.
You know what's so funny though is that I saw something that was like, women need to stop like size shaming men. And I'm just like, look, I feel that. I do feel that.
I don't think you should shame anyone for anything.
Like, body shaming, it goes on both sides. But I think before we can get to, like, size shaming men, it's like, until men are, like, dismantling their friends that are, like, calling girls and women, like, bitches and hoes and, like, being abusive and being, like, there's a lot that has to happen in this equality fucking life and world before... I'm not saying, like, your dick is small.
And it's like, if that hurts your feelings, well, then clearly you have a little dick.
Yeah.
So, sounds like a more personal problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's get into our trife life. And mine isn't a specific one this week either. But it's just something I feel like a lot of people, especially women, experience or have had to deal with. I know I personally have had a friend... that you question, like, are you my friend or are you a hater? And in a sense, like, friends that just don't speak life into your dreams or ideas or thoughts, and even down to the little things, like...
Yeah. It's like, you're a hater.
Yeah. Like,
and I don't think you like me.
Like, are we friends?
Yeah.
Are we even friends? So I had a friend when I first started doing makeup. When I first decided I wanted to do makeup professionally, she was like, oh, that's what you want to do now? Rather than like, oh, that's exciting, dope, go for it. Like, no feedback. And it's like, we don't need praise all the time, but there was zero support there where I was like, well, damn, like, I shouldn't have even told you. And then I have another friend who...
No, I feel like that's definitely... anyone that... especially if you're coming to something with excitement and you're just kind of like...
Yeah, you can feel when somebody's excited about something, and then, like,
genuine.
just to knock them down, like, it definitely hurt my feelings. And I mean, I still remember it. So this was what, 6-7 years ago?
It's pretty telling.
I'm just gonna let that go though. I'm not hurt.
No, I
But
mean,
then I have a friend who has a so-called best friend that I always like watch their interactions. Like, are y'all friends?
yeah.
She could just get her hair done. She's like, oh, they could have done something right there
little better.
different. Like, could have done better. Or if she's going to go for a new adventure, like, oh, you can't do that. Or how are you going to do that? Like, rather than just being supportive. And it's like,
Yeah.
are you my enemigo?
Mm.
Like, what is
You're
this?
my arch nemesis.
Mhm.
Nemesis.
And I think it's really important to, like, have a group of friends or people around you that speak life into you
Absolutely.
and you back into them. That's part of manifesting
relationship.
and
Yeah.
being your higher self and just all of that. So it's really weird.
I think too, if you're listening to this and you are picking up on like, dang, maybe I'm a fucking hater.
That is exactly how they treat me.
Maybe you should, yeah. Or like
Revisit
maybe
the friendship.
If you're the person,
Reevaluate.
if you're the person that's like constantly kind of being the negative Nancy to something that people are trying to pour into you or trying to express to you, maybe check yourself.
Yeah, like, and it's definitely how you say things.
Yeah.
Because I know when I come to you with certain ideas or like, I think I want to do this, you'll give me a real honest
Yeah.
answer, but without bringing me down. Like,
Yeah.
you'll just be like, hey, weigh out all your options, or
Yeah.
you know, do you think it's a smart idea for you? Like, what do you think? Like, we can have a discussion
Yeah.
rather than just like, oh, you can't do that, or
Yeah.
that's stupid. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like still with respect, with tact, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's a true friendship. But if this is resonating with any of y'all, reevaluate,
Right.
because you don't need that type of toxicity, especially
Not from people that you choose to have in your life.
yeah.
Nah.
I
Low,
wouldn't
it just
pick
sounds
it.
like low
Low vibrational,
vibrations.
down to the ground. But yeah, I guess we could keep rolling into this manifestation journey.
She's rocking and rolling.
So for anyone who doesn't know, because I know it's kind of been bouncing around everywhere,
I think it's definitely a buzzword right now.
buzzword. Manifestation is the public display of emotion or feeling or something theoretical made real. Manifestations origins are in religion or spirituality, because if something spiritual becomes real, it is said to be a manifestation. And it's real.
Yeah, I was listening to some podcast, this like motivational speaking, I can't remember the name of it, but the guy was basically talking about manifestations, and he was saying how the word abracadabra, literally it's like a spell. Like you think of the power of the tongue and, you know, just the power of your thoughts and speaking life into things. And essentially, it's like a word that magicians use when they're performing a magic trick. And I thought that was so interesting of like, wow, you know, this manifestation, you're speaking life into something, you're projecting this thing into your world, into your life, into your universe of like, this is what it is and this is the truth. You know what I mean?
I think that's why we focus so hard on our affirmations and intentions.
Yeah.
Just saying and focusing on where you want to take your higher self.
Yeah, and the vice versa of that, of like, if you're constantly saying, I'm broke, right? You're
gonna
going
be
to be
broke.
broke.
You are broke.
Or you're constantly, there was even something I heard that was saying, I have anxiety. And instead of saying I have anxiety, you should say, I have suffered from anxiety. Like, take yourself out of the victim.
Exactly. That
kind
victim
of
mentality
mentality.
is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really the only place we're trapped is our minds.
Absolutely.
It's easy to feel that way with everything going on around us, but you're only trapped in your own mind.
Your mind will literally dictate so much of everything. You know what I mean? And I think too, like, the power of words, the power of speaking, even with people, right? Of like how you approach things when you're communicating with people. Like, I feel like you're constantly kind of manifesting the relationships and the outcomes that you want, right? So like, you can go into something with fire, like turned up, and that's, you say one thing, right? And you get this response. And if you say something else, you get a completely different, softer, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, I think people need to move with compassion and with love. And I think when you are in that realm, in that bag, you have a completely different interaction with people, with yourself. Like,
Because what you
it's
put
just-
out, you're going to receive back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can speak your affirmations. Let's say I'm doing my affirmations every morning, but then I go out in the world and I'm a shitty person to everybody else. I'm blocking my own
Yeah.
reality that I'm trying to build because I'm not being who I want to be to, like, who I want to show up for me
Yeah.
and, like, who I want to show up as.
Yeah.
I think it's just really important. It all really goes together. We're all so connected.
Yeah. I think that manifestations can be big or small, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It could be, I don't know, just something as small as I'm going to eat healthy. You know, I am eating healthy. I am feeding my body. I am nourishing like my temple. And it could be as big as I want to be a millionaire, you know?
I
Be
am
a
a
billionaire.
millionaire.
I am a millionaire. Yeah.
I'm on that rich bitch juice.
And I guess, yeah, maybe not I want to be, I am.
I am. And that's a big thing about manifesting. Let me see if I have it right here. But it is essentially changing a big part of it is rewiring your brain.
Yeah.
So you're changing your verbiage into an I have mind state and showing gratitude, genuinely being grateful for what you already have, what you've
Yeah.
already achieved
Yeah.
is a big part of creating this reality around you or getting yourself to where you actually want to be. Of course, it
Yeah.
won't pull up right now, but
I know that it's so
there's
funny.
that.
Like one of the things that my grandma always does is gives gratitude. Like it could be the littlest things. Like, oh my God, I can't find my keys. Oh, there are my. Thank you, Jesus. And she does it, and I think it's something that has stuck with me. Of just, wow, that is we're just humble servants here. You know what I mean? Like,
no, seriously.
thank you so much. Like, thank you. And it's something it's as little as finding your keys. You know what I mean? But it's just like when you have that mindset of everything is a blessing, everything is everything is working for my good, you move differently.
And good continues to flow.
yes, give
It's
thanks.
like
Have
continuing to
gratitude.
flow. So ways you can change your vocabulary to manifest more. Instead of saying I hope X happens, X is happening.
Yeah.
So instead of I hope I get that job,
Yeah.
I'm getting that job.
Yeah.
That job is already mine.
Yeah.
Or I would like to have a new house. I have a new house. It's already mine. Those little changes in the way you speak
Yeah.
just really make it happen. I had a friend who we just had a conversation. I think it all started, she was going to have a picnic. It was during the shutdown with her boyfriend. And she was like, oh, so she wanted something really cute. And I was like, yeah. I was like helping her figure out ideas. And I was like, someone was thinking about starting this as a business. Like, you just set these picnics up for people. And she was like, wow, I never even thought of that. And then she just started thinking about it, started looking into it, and was just like, okay, I think I'm going to actually start this business. And before it even launched, already on the news, like
It's
getting
beautiful.
promotion and just
Yeah.
by speaking like, yeah, I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
doing a little bit of work,
Yeah.
but really it just all comes together for your greater
The power
good.
of the tongue.
Also, writing things down, journaling, visualizing,
Yeah. Also,
really
shout
meditating
out,
on these
before
things.
we even go on, shout out Sacktown Picnics.
Yep.
If you're in the
Mhm.
Sacramento area.
Sacramento area.
Sacktown Picnics is where it's at. That's their Instagram.
Yeah. We're going to put her in the link. If you're trying to put a cutesy little date together. I think you can pick your color scheme and different like food options. She
But it's
got
just
games and speakers.
The power of the tongue, of just like, okay. And I think that that's another thing too, is like that window, right? Like we have visions and things that come to us, and you have a window of time that you need to act on it. And
Right.
it's like,
Oh yeah, don't forget about the action, because baby, you need to take that action.
yeah,
Like you don't just sit in a room, visualize, and say things, and they just happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have
If
to
that was
put
the case,
work in.
I would be a billionaire right now. But you do have to put the work in, but also make a daily habits change. Like, is there anything else we're forgetting to help manifest?
I think visualizing it,
Visualizing,
meditating on it, truly like seeing the reality.
Yeah,
'Cause
envisioning that.
seeing is believing, right? So I think if you can visualize it, then you can achieve it. It's tangible.
I think I'm such a visualizer and like daydreamer.
Yeah.
Like I notice most of my daydreams, I'm really like visualizing like a higher self or like a situation that I really want to happen.
Yeah, and it's I think people get so quick to like, "Ugh, this can't happen. It can't work. It's not gonna make sense." And it's like,
As soon as you go on with that mindset, it's not happening. It's
Yeah.
already dead.
Yeah.
You didn't even put that vibration out there for it to happen.
but it's also just like changing that. Like, why can't it work? You know, even mantras in the morning. You know, like, and affirmations, they kind of go hand in hand. But like, just telling yourself, because we all like you said earlier, the our mind is our biggest trap. Our mind is our biggest downfall. So if we know that this like that's already stacked up against us, we have to put in that extra loving. We got to put in that extra time and that extra
Right.
to keep ourselves like balanced in it. Like, you know what
It
I
makes
mean?
all the difference. I was and I need to go back to doing this. There's no reason why I shouldn't. But I was took a dry erase marker, and on my mirror I wrote like 2 or 3 affirmations I just like really wanted to focus on. So even if I wasn't saying them out loud, I would see that,
Yeah.
and then I would think it, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I am powerful. I
Yeah.
am capable. I am a billionaire. You know, whatever that looks like. And I definitely saw a difference in things just
Yeah.
kind of working out for me. And crazy thing, I wrote this letter to the universe during the lockdown in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just giving thanks to everything that I wanted. But I was giving thanks like I already had all these things. And then I revisited the letter 6 months-ish later. And all of those things, literally every single thing on that letter happened.
It's crazy.
And I was like, damn, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I really made all this happen
And I think
without knowing how it was going to happen.
journaling is another one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll journal. And I've been journaling since like, I don't know, 2014, 2013, something like that. And looking back on things that I wanted or that I was complaining about or that, you know, just spaces. Like, you never know this next level. Like, you pray for the things that you have now, right? And that at those lower moments, and then you reach them, you receive them, and it's like, wow, I've really come a long way.
And I've always had that thought in me,
Yeah.
and I was always capable to make these things happen.
Did you ever read the book The Alchemist?
Yeah. I was reading something the other, not reading something, I was listening to something the other day, and I was like, I need to revisit The Alchemist. Like,
It's a great book.
I hear it's a book you should read, like, as a teen, and then read it again in your 20s, and then read it again, like, when you turn 30.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a part of the book, an Arabic word, it's maktub. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Maktub. And essentially it just means the history, like the past and the future is written by the same pen. And it's just like, it's beautiful. It's just,
That is beautiful. I'm gonna cry now.
yeah, but I think it's just this stuff, the past, the future, it's all aligned. There is, I don't know what you believe in or whatever, you know, if it's God or Buddha or Allah, like, but I think when you can get to an understanding of just like all of this stuff is already written and done, I'm just playing catch up, and like,
I think it's really tapping into, like you said, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your belief is, when you really take the time to intentionally tap into that,
yeah,
it's undeniable.
yeah,
Like, we don't feel things, and you know, we're not also connected just on a fluke.
no,
Like, it's not just
no.
an accident.
Right. Nothing is coincident.
Mm-mm.
I let it.
Wow. So I hope y'all out here manifesting. If you're not sure how to get started, start doing your affirmations.
Yeah.
Journal, I mean, even once a week if you can.
Yeah.
Write the letter to the universe in thanks of all the things that you want.
Yeah. And meditating.
Meditate. Sit there. Visualize it. Think about it.
Guided meditations.
Yeah,
if you don't know how
to meditate,
highly recommend doing
YouTube
a
has
guided
a
meditation.
bajillion.
Yeah.
Oprah and Deepak Chopra have a meditation app.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a whole app dedicated to meditations.
I love that.
The tools are out there.
Yeah.
You
just
can
have to
really
seek
create
it.
whatever reality you see for
You
yourself.
really just have to seek it.
And be extremely intentional about it. Like,
No pun
don't even
intended.
don't even think about like, oh, but how, or this can't happen. Like, just believe that it's
go.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And take a little step. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let me submit my work to this firm that I've always wanted to work with, or let me, I don't know, whatever that looks like.
Whatever it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it'll work. Mark my words, it'll work.
That's right. Speaking of intentions, let's get into our intentions.
Our intentions this week. My intention this week is I intend to release judgment and accept life as it is in the moment. I don't think I'm a super judgmental person.
I think we all judge a little.
But you judge and you want things a certain way rather than just accepting what is.
Yeah.
And I noticed the other day in a yoga class, I spent half of the class judging this lady's teaching style because it just wasn't someone I was used to. It wasn't a specific way that I was used to this type of class being taught. And I was taken away from my own experience. Everyone around me was having a great time.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm talking about this lady's playlist. I'm like, what is this move she's having us do?
The entire time, you were just
halfway
dissecting.
Yeah. And I mean, that was what I ended up taking from the class. Like, I need to let go of this judgment. At the end of the day, it's exactly what my body needed. I sweated so hard.
Yeah.
And just accept the experiences in the moment, good or bad. Sometimes you just need to observe.
Sometimes just
be.
Just being present. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to do, right? Of like, it's easy to just nitpick.
Yeah.
And especially if you're a person that struggles with control, I think being present and just being able to quiet the mind and like really, really seep in and feel whatever it looks like, right? Mm-hmm. You will have a completely different experience.
Yeah, and so the first half, I was judging. Yeah. Hard. And I was like, you're not even doing yoga. Because yoga, people think it's just the postures, but it's really getting in that meditative mental space. Yeah. And I was like, girl, focus, enjoy it. And then towards the second half, I was like, okay, this is good. Yeah. I'm just enjoying whatever she's doing. It's different, but I'm accepting it. And I'm going to try and hold on to that the rest of this week. What is your intention this week, Jay?
So my intention this week is that I am welcoming warmth, understanding, and support from others and with others. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things. We live in a really hard world, right? Mm-hmm. Like, shit's deep. And sometimes it's really easy to be combative or to have a shell up or to be hard. Mm-hmm. So I just want to... I
like the support, too.
I want to welcome... Oh, yeah. I think warmth and compassion and love and just, like, a place of, like, okay, not everybody is out to get you.
Right. You're just automatically on...
You're on guard. You're on
guard
10.
and defense mode all the time. And it's, like, just accept...
Yeah. Compassion.
People are trying to give...
Understanding for others. Like, really just empathy, you know? Like... You can understand others, if you can just like try to put yourself in others' shoes, I feel like you really, you know what I mean? We take things so personally, and it's just like nothing is personal. And welcoming.
You've been reading the 4 Agreements lately?
I started it.
Oh, friend, and I'm telling you, don't take things personal.
And welcoming support. Mm-hmm. We all need help sometimes.
Yeah. And
it's okay to not be Superwoman. It's okay to need a hand.
Reach.
You know? So it's like, it doesn't make you any weaker. It doesn't make you, if anything, it makes you stronger.
I have such a hard time asking for help. So I'm going to try and carry this too.
Yeah. It's hard. I think especially when you are used to people like not showing up for you.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I got it. Like,
I'll
it's fine.
It out.
I've been figuring it out. I'll keep figuring it out.
Yeah. But it's when you can allow people to show up for you in like in a way, you know, you might be surprised.
Yeah. I love it. I like this. Well, this has been wonderful.
Guys, if you guys have really been listening all the way through, and this is our like finale.
This is our season finale of
conclusion.
season 1, but
Yeah.
we're excited to bring season 2. We're going to bring some of our friends. We're going to have some guests with us next season. So definitely come back. We have some really interesting different groups of people we hang out with. So
Yeah.
and people we want to bring on.
Yeah, I think between the two of our groups of friends, like it'll be pretty.
It'll be funny.
We
for
should
sure.
do like a funny, like all the girls, and just like in here talking shit.
We'll have to come up with a really good topic for sure.
Yeah.
We all have such different ideas and way we move, so that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna bring some guys on here.
I know.
So y'all could talk your shit
And y'all
and
can
you
stop
know
telling us about how you need a men's perspective.
we want to hear it. We do want to hear it. A little opposition is healthy.
As long as you're.
And tell us where y'all heads be at, because sometimes it's very questionable. So I'd love to hear what goes on in those big blockheads.
It's just like ding, ding, nothing, like nothing at all. Ding, it's like just a bell, a cowbell.
Like, oh, all right, that explains it.
Yeah.
But yes, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate,
Wherever
review.
you guys listen.
Wherever you listening at, drop us a line. Tell us
Yeah.
where any of this resonates with you.
Or what you didn't like.
What
If
you-
you have any,
Yeah, keep
any
it real.
feedback, we
We're
welcome
strong.
it.
We strong. We could take it. Take a little constructive criticism.
Not too much
Not too. Don't get crazy.
though. Thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Risky Intentions.
Bye.
Bye.